Hey, it's Wolfy-Chan, and I'm back with another manga review. And this manga is The Knights of Sidonia, and this is my final thoughts on the manga as a whole, which is a 15-part manga. I actually kind of want to look around and see if there's maybe a part 2, or if there's something else that's kind of linear to it. I definitely need to know, because I'm in love. I couldn't get enough of it. Every time I was in town, I went to my local library to get the next volumes. I even got to the point where, funny enough, I maxed out as many books as I could get. And I was like, but I want to get more Knights of Sidonia. So that's how good for me the story is. And the story is very much mech based. It is in space. It is with this society that stuff's happening to. There's a lot of things. A lot of things are in the manga. And there's tiny details, very tiny, that the anime doesn't have, that the manga has, different placements of different things in the anime to the manga. I'm waiting for a season 3 of the anime, but from manga to anime, I definitely say they are very closely linked. They're very good. Whoever made this, the anime, was very good at following the source material. Except for one of the points, which is the people who are actually part of the control hub of Sidonia. They don't have masks, especially when they get to the second part, when they start making installations and stuff like that. So, in this manga, we follow our main character, Nagate Tanekaze. Give me a moment, it hurts my brain saying his name because I just think of Negate. But Nagate is, as we find out, spoilers, this is probably going to be a spoiler-heavy manga review, except for the ending. I'd rather you guys get a feel for it and read it yourself, and, whatever you like. I will admit this should be 18 and over. Anybody who wants to read this, I'm going to give it an 18 and over because there are some situations that Nagate gets into that is pretty either kind of weirdly sexual, but they don't show anything, or there is a lot of violence and stuff kind of happens in between all the characters and stuff like that. So it does follow our main character Nagate, and he of course is piloting the Tsunomori, or Sugamori. No, it's not. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the oldest ship that was retired but got put back into action because of Nagate, and he of course is helping everybody. And through the course of the manga, he doesn't truthfully mature as much as he gets more of an understanding. And when he fights, he's developing more and more feelings as friendship with some of the people that he's with. Izana, unfortunately, turns more into a female to be with Nagate because, they have strong feelings for him, but that's not how Nagate sees them. They see him as a friend, as somebody that they live with, which is a fun thing. Over the manga, he slowly gets, a house and all the stuff, roommates. There is a point where one of the people who were pilots decides to go into a secret vault and gets controlled by, in the anime they call it nematodes. I think of it more as a parasite that goes through an opening, which happens to be an eye, I guess, for the quickest way to get into the brain, and makes a couple hybrids. The first hybrid is Sugami? I can't remember her. But she is a really crucial part. And when she is made, it's very important because that's kind of a thing that this old doctor was a part of. But this guy can make it good? So she plays a pivotal role because she is, one, adorable, 2, my like most favorite character in this whole series, 3, is really awesome. And she just has human feelings and human emotions, and just all the stuff inside of her. And, you know, she's not technically human. She's a mix of two races, which is the Gauna and a human being. It's flippin' amazing. So, with that, and we find out about the second Gauna, or the second hybrid, that basically he is, whereas Tsumugi, there you go, took me a little bit, Tsumugi was not totally sheltered. She was taught and everything, and then went and worked with Tanikaze and everybody, and built up a relationship with everybody. The other one, which is Kanata, there you go. Took me a second. Kanata is more sheltered. They want to like force a lot of things into his body, and just he cannot go out places. He cannot see things, and he cannot do what Tsumugi does, which is weird that they take two different ways on that. And with Kanata, he finds out how he was made and what happens to him and all that kind of stuff, and he flips out. He just goes insane. And so then what happens is that he kind of blows a hole in the Sidonia, and that's kind of when kind of big things kind of happen. And then you keep moving on through the story, and you find out that, spoilers, Nagate has feelings for Tsumugi, and Tsumugi's just like, I don't know how to handle this, but I really like you too, but it's so cute. That is like, I was immensely happy. I was kind of leaning towards Nagate going to Izana, but, you know, he seemed to have feelings for Hoshuja. And when she died and then turned to plantain, turned to a Gauna that has placenta, he was always kind of looking after her, or looking at her, and, you know, doing all that stuff, which then when Tsumugi's kind of born, he attaches himself to her, and then slowly has these feelings, and it's adorable. I really love that. And of course, the fight scenes are pretty amazing. The fights keep kind of growing and growing and growing, up all the way till the end, which is kind of amazing, and especially what happens at the end. Oh, the ending. I'm not going to spoil the ending, because you should definitely read the manga. But the ending is adorable and awesome, especially when you see the fight scene and everything with Tsumugi and Tanikaze and all this kind of stuff. And it is really interesting, especially when you see the Sidonia developing other technology, like basically kind of like a battle cruiser, whereas, you know, the Sidonia is a ship for passengers. And seeing that get developed, and seeing them kind of go around the Lem system, which is kind of the place that they are like finding a second home, and just seeing them fight the Gauna. And it's, truthfully to me, it's really weird that the Gauna slowly got enhanced or smarter and stuff like that, and started using humanoid forms. But as the manga kind of goes on, that extra Gauna kind of slowly disappears into just turning into kind of like something like Tsumugi, but then it never gets more developed from Gauna state, or the Gauna side. Like, there's not more of those, even though it was really powerful. You don't even see the fighter ships of the Hawk Moth after a while. It just turns into these cluster seed ships that go and attack more of the Sidonia and kind of do more of that kind of stuff. Which you see that the Gauna are really attached to Higgs particles, or Higgius particles. And that's like a new energy source, and that's when they kind of came about. But it's never really explained why they're attached to it. Is it because of the energy? Is it because they need something? Is it because they were drifted to humanity and thought they were, good people? It's not totally explained, other than they're going to keep fighting it for the rest of time, which is really weird. They don't even talk about if the Gauna have a home planet, or if they spawn just out of ether, or what happens when you destroy it and they turn into these little particle things. Like, they go everywhere. How can it not, like a sun, just come back together and make another Gauna? It's not fully explained, which does bug me now that I'm thinking about it. But for story-wise, I kind of understand, they reach their pinnacle and what individual Gauna can do. Now it's a cluster thing that has to fire and get the Sidonia, and it's still, there's also implications that there were more of these ships other than Sidonia, but they haven't heard from them anymore. And it would be kind of cool if the Gauna changed depending on which direction you went. Like, these Gauna, tend to be more animalistic, or these Gauna, tend to have more lightning power, something, I don't know. But as a whole series, it is really interesting, really engaging, and just amazing. I love it, and I would definitely recommend this for anybody who's seen, Terraformers, or read Terraformers, and kind of like that. I would almost say if you've seen Evangelion and you like mech stuff, go for this one. But it's not really like Evangelion. Our protagonist is a protagonist. He really tries. Nagate, I will admit, has an emotional stability of a piece of paper. He goes from he can't eat, which is a sign that he's upset, to eating loads of food and he's okay. And that's when he's okay. So, and maybe it's not a piece of paper, but he does kind of have emotional attachment to a lot of things that he doesn't get over and doesn't know how to deal with. But he can deal with people and all that stuff. But he doesn't grasp that some people may emotionally want to be with him, whereas he just kind of sees a lot of people other than Tsumugi as a friend. So it is kind of interesting. And he doesn't talk his feelings through like that, which is what I think Zana didn't quite understand. It was I don't see you as a girlfriend or as a dating partner, but I do see you as a friend and a family member. Because once again, I'm not born from a family. He is spoilers, a technical clone of Satoshi. Or Saito? There you go. Give me a second and I'll get the name. So he's a clone of Saito, trying to be the hero of Sidonia. So they needed another person other than Saito, because Saito he was part of the immortal crew, but then decided that no one should be immortal. And kind of went mental, but found out that they cloned him. So he took the baby, raised it as Nagate Tanakaze, and the rest is history as of this manga. But you do find out more about the Mortal Council, and that, the mission has been so long running, and there's been so many people that have lived and died, and it's taken a toll on the captain. But she just, she's a captain, she wants to see her people safe, and there's a lot of things that kind of happen with her as kind of almost a side ploy. She wants to take care of Nagate because she had feelings for Satoshi, and because she fell for him, and all this kind of stuff, which is interesting. It is a very interesting side story. And you find out more about the bear woman, which you find out she's not technically a bear. It's an outer suit, because she didn't want to. So what happens is that the person, her name is Lala, she got deathly injured, or deathly hurt, but found out that the support system couldn't, if she walked out of there, she'd die. So they figured out a way to make the support system walk around with her, and she can do normal stuff. And she can live as normal life as possible. But the thing is, almost like a walking fish tank with a huge clearing so that she could see it, and just robotic arms and stuff. So I'm guessing what happened, and they don't really go into discussion why she picked a bear form. You just find the discussion of why she's in it. But I'm guessing she just, it felt so awkward to her having people look at her in that suit that she decided, you know what, I don't want people to see this, I just want people to acknowledge that I'm a person. So she chose kind of an exoskeleton or an outside of a bear to kind of make it look awesome and to kind of have the mama bear look, I'm thinking. Doesn't really go into detail, just that's a thing. Yeah. But it's kind of cool to realize that it's not like a bear person, it is just a human in an exosuit. So I would definitely recommend this. If you like mechs, if you like space stories, and if you seem like Terraformers, it's kind of like that, but not with insects, and you don't get to transform like that. But people are part plant because they photosynthesize. So, it's the interesting part. So, if you like this video, definitely leave a like. Leave it in the comment section below. Have you read all of Knights of Sidonia? Or where you at? And or who's your favorite character? I will admit, this whole series, it is Samugi. Something about her and her whimsy and the way she sees life and just interacting with people is adorable and amazing. I love her. I love her, and even when Nagate finally decides to date her, those two together, it's adorable, especially at the ending. If you want to know what I'm talking about, definitely read to the end. And don't forget to subscribe, because I do upload every day from Sunday to Saturday, Monday to Sunday. Whenever you need a video, I got you covered. And if you want to follow me on Facebook or Twitter, the links are down below. And I hope that you are having a very wonderful, wonderful day. Wolfy-Chan out. Bye.